Cops shoot at black woman during routine stop, then she shoots back. Gunshots echoed in the dark. Then silence, just the crackle of a police radio and the rapid pulse in her ears. She was on her way home, still in uniform, blood on her scrubs, not hers, someone she'd saved. But to them, she wasn't a medic. She was a threat. One sudden move, a shattered window, a bullet in her shoulder. She begged them to stop. They didn't. So she did the unthinkable. She fired back. This isn't just the story of a traffic stop gone wrong. It's the story of survival against a system rigged to silence her. Where are you watching from? Drop your city below. It was just another Friday night in Atlanta. Brielle Turner, a 32-year-old EMT, was driving home after a double shift. She loved her job even with the chaos. She believed in saving lives. Her scrubs were still stained with someone else's blood. The radio played low as she turned onto a quiet residential road she'd driven countless times. Brielle wasn't speeding. She hadn't run a light. Still, when flashing blue and red lights lit up her rearview mirror, her stomach clenched. She took a deep breath and pulled over, hands on the wheel, window halfway down, just like she'd always been taught. But as the seconds passed, the usual procedure felt off. The officers didn't approach slowly. One shouted something she couldn't quite hear. A second had his hand already on his gun. She had no idea her life was about to become a headline. The officer on the left yelled again. Brielle rolled the window lower. "Ma'am, exit the vehicle." Confused, she glanced at her phone's front camera. Her face was exhausted, but calm. "Is something wrong, officer?" she asked, voice steady. No answer. "Just a warning. Now, or we'll remove you ourselves." Brielle slowly reached for her ID badge clipped to her chest, but the moment her arm moved, a shot rang out. The window shattered. She screamed. A bullet tore through her shoulder. Instinct kicked in. She dropped to the passenger side, blood soaking her uniform. Another shot. They were firing at her. Why? In pain, she reached into her glove compartment. Her legally registered firearm. She had a permit. She'd trained. She was bleeding and terrified, and still being fired at. She screamed, "I'm an EMT. I'm unarmed." But another round hit the door beside her. With no other choice, she returned fire once, twice, just enough to make them stop. The officers backed off momentarily, calling for backup. Within minutes, a dozen more cruisers arrived. The street lit up like a war zone. Helicopters above. Neighbors peeking from windows. Brielle was dragged from her car, face down, knees to her back. Cuffed, bleeding, and barely conscious, she heard them call her aggressive, hostile, dangerous. No one asked if she was okay, and just like that, a frontline hero was branded a criminal. At the hospital, handcuffed to her gurney, Brielle faded in and out of consciousness. Reporters outside were already spinning the story. Armed black woman fires at police during routine stop. No mention of her wounds. No mention of her service. When her blood alcohol level came back 0 and her firearm was verified legal, the narrative didn't shift, it only grew quieter. The officers were placed on administrative leave. That was it. No charges. No consequences. Meanwhile, Brielle couldn't lift her arm, couldn't sleep without reliving the muzzle flash, couldn't explain to her niece why she didn't wear her EMT badge anymore. They almost killed her, and still tried to blame her. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like, it really helps. Brielle recovered physically, but her trust in the system shattered. She moved out of Atlanta, left her job, and started speaking out at schools, rallies, and online platforms. She wanted people to know, even heroes aren't safe when their skin is black. Her story wasn't an outlier. It was a mirror to a deeper truth in America. She became a face for reform, but she'd trade it all to go back to that night and simply make it home, unseen. The officers who shot her walk free today. One even got promoted. Brielle never asked for revenge, just justice, an acknowledgement. But in a world still pretending not to see, even the truth has to shout to be heard. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos. Take care.